MGF Custom Slash Reviews.
What's going on, guys? This is Michael MGF, and today we're doing the final LEGO DC Universe Superheroes Man of Steel review. And the last one here is on the Superman Battle of Smallville. The set number for this one is 76003. It has 418 pieces, and the recommended ages are 6 through 12. For those of you looking for these sets, good news. The new sets, the new LEGO Man of Steel sets, just went live on Lego.com, so no more having to run to your Walmart managers and beg them to sell them to you before the street date, which is May 1st. So that's definitely good, but this set is retailing right now at Walmart for $50, and I definitely think it's a worthy buy because you get a really fantastic dropship and 5 really nice minifigures, and Colonel Hardy over here is a little bit bland, but I'll get into the reasons just as to why I think this set is really great. But first we're going to go ahead and take a look at the minifigures and box. So we're going to start off with the Man of Steel himself, Superman, and this one is definitely a step up from his predecessor, and you can see that this one is now in a dark blue color rather than your standard blue, and it has overall just a higher level of detail, and you can see that details all the silver markings, the little gold circular design here. The Superman logo in general is very nice, and just overall a fantastic representation of the Man of Steel variant of Superman, and that printing does continue down over his legs, and definitely pretty awesome there. He has the standard red cape, which is totally cool because the Man of Steel cape is in fact red. It's not dark red or anything, so no problems there. And then you can see the printing on the back of the torso is also very nicely detailed with the same silver designs and just some nice some nice markings to represent bone structure there, so that's pretty cool. But then you can see the face is in fact, a lot of you have been trying to tell me different, that the face is in fact the same exact face that we got in the Power Armor Lex set last year, but it is not. There are some differences, and if I were to compare the two, you would see those differences, so maybe if you have both figures, you could go ahead and take a look yourself, because the two faces are in fact different by just ever so slightly different designs. Like this eyebrow I think might be a little lower, but there are slight differences. But anyway, you can see that the head does in fact, the other side of the head does in fact have the heat vision eyes and the more aggressive facial expression, so that is pretty cool. And overall, this minifigure is just a great representation, like I said, of the Man of Steel variant of Superman. Great job by LEGO, and it does in fact have the same Superman hair that we got with the previous Power Armor Lex set last year. So there is the Man of Steel version of Superman. And now we have Faora. This is a completely new character. I myself am not familiar with her at all, but you can see that she is also her own new figure, and she does in fact have female features on the printing, the design of the torso. If you take a look at like Tanor, for example, you'll notice that they do obviously have different torsos and different features to represent their different genders, so that is definitely pretty cool. And she does in fact have a Kryptonian F on her chest to represent, because F for Faora, so that makes sense. But then she does in fact have the brand new pistol, which is pretty cool, and you can see that it is just a really fantastic design, and it just looks great, and it's just definitely much better than the Alien Conquest set, which unfortunately is included with this set and pisses me off because I hate this pistol. So honestly, I would have been happy if this guy had this pistol, but honestly, what can you do? It's a nice pistol overall, but unfortunately, if LEGO is already giving this Alien Conquest pistol to more figures, I don't think we're going to be seeing this one that often anymore. I think it might just be exclusive to these figures, but I sure hope not, because honestly, though it may still look very alien, it's much better than the Alien Conquest pistol. But anyway, yeah, so then she does in fact have the same printing right down here on the silver. The silver does continue down to her legs, and then if you move her black cape around, you can see that she does have the printing on the back of her torso, so that is pretty cool. And then you can see that her head, unfortunately, this is kind of lame, her head is actually a Wonder Woman head, so that really sucks, and I can actually show you real quick what I mean. Her head is not exclusive or new or unique in any way. It's just completely Wonder Woman's head. It is literally the exact same head. So that is unfortunate, but what can you do? You can see her hair does in fact have I say in fact a lot. I actually saw a comment recently of how much I say in fact, so I do apologize for that. I have to break that habit. But anyway, you can see her hair has the it's pretty much the hair that was introduced in like Lego minifigure series something, and finally we got a black mold of this hair, because I know a lot of us that really wanted one. But then you can see the other side of her face is kind of like an angry face, pretty much the exact same head that Wonder Woman has, but she does have the awesome Kryptonian battle armor like General Zod's here. She has her own unique armor, which I'm going to go ahead and put on the figure real quick, so let's go ahead and take a look at that. What sucks about this armor is that I will never get it off. I mean, this armor, though it may be very detailed, very awesome, and just overall fantastic, it is very difficult to get this armor off. And as you can see, her head is like getting stuck to the helmet there. But pretty much this head is just really hard to get out. I mean, if you're lucky like I was, it's just really hard to get the head out. If you're lucky like I was and the head decides to come out with the helmet, then it's your lucky day. But honestly, it's just really hard to get the head out of the armor. But aside from that, you can see that the armor is really, really detailed with all of its silver and gunmetal designs. It is just really fantastic, and just a overall just a great design. So there is Faora in her Kryptonian combat suit. So yeah, there you go. General Zod is the exact same one that I reviewed in the Black Zero Escape, but either way, it's a really fantastic minifigure with its own unique combat suit, and you can see that it does have the same pistol that we've gotten, the brand new Kryptonian pistol that I just went over, the new design. So very cool to see that on multiple figures, because it is better than the Alien Conquest pistol, so the more the better, really. But you can see the armor that he has is really fantastic, just overall really highly detailed, and just a high quality design. It just really looks very alien, very awesome, and like I said previously, it looks almost something. Honestly, Brick Affliction Andrew, he's better, but this is just really detailed. Like, this is fantastic. But you can see that the visor, honestly, it should be transparent. If you've seen the trailer, you'll know that you can actually see their faces underneath that helmet. So honestly, I kind of feel it's a little lame how Lego just gave them eye holes to kind of represent that. I mean, that was a little bit cheap, but I mean, this is just really fantastic. So honestly, I really shouldn't complain. I don't know how many times I said fantastic, but this is really awesome. But you can see that the head is the same head that we've gotten with previous sets, and unlike Faora, it is actually a little bit easier to get his head out of his armor. For some reason, the design of Faora, her armor is just harder to get out for some reason. I don't know. But you can see that his head does represent Michael Shannon very nicely. You can see he has a little beard going on there. His expression is just overall an angry kind of face. He's not happy to see anyone. And then he has the Kryptonian symbol, which is a sideways Omega symbol, of course. And then all the silver detailing really looks great. All the silver detail going down over his belt and down onto his legs really looks fantastic on top of the black primary color. And all of that silver awesomeness just does continue to his back. So that is pretty cool. And then you can see he does have a double-sided face. Just like Superman, he has heat vision. So that is pretty cool. But I mean, if they're all Kryptonian, I think if Lego made new heads for both Faora and Tanor, I honestly think that they could have had heat vision themselves. So kind of a shame that Lego decided to not give all three of these Kryptonians their own unique faces, but that's alright. I mean, they're still pretty good figures. And you can see his hairpiece, like I said before, is inaccurate. Not exactly the best choice, but it works. So there's General Zod. Just realized I just spent like a minute calling Toran Tanor, so I do apologize for that for those of you who nitpick my videos, but I make mistakes. But anyway, so you can see Toran here is really awesome. He has been infected with the same face copy plague that Faora has, and he has the exact same face as Lex Luthor. So that is unfortunate, and because he has literally the exact same face as Lex Luthor, that means that he does not have any printing on the back. So no double-sided printing for him, because his head is literally the same, but he does have a hairpiece, so there's nothing to worry about there. But the Lex Luthor head was designed to be bald, so there was really no room for a double-sided face. And since Lego decided to copy the head, that's pretty much what he's going to get too, no double-sided face. So that's unfortunate, but just like Faora, he has a T for Tanor, I'm about to say it again, Tanor, gosh damn it, for Toran. Pretty much, I think they like to put the first letter of their names on their suits. So that seems to be something that the Kryptonians here like. But you can see that pretty much the overall design of this suit is exactly the same as General Zod's, aside from the unique T logo. So yeah, Kryptonian T. Other than that, he just has a Lex Luthor head with hair. So Lex Luthor, pretty much, I guess he came from Krypton. and he was younger at the time. But anyway, yeah, so there is Toran. And finally we have Colonel Hardy, and he utilizes the traditional head that we've seen in God knows how many LEGO sets. I think you guys have seen that head before, but it does not have any double-sided printing on the head because obviously he's bald and there's no room for that, no hairpiece or helmet to cover it up. But you can see his torso is in fact just really really useful for modern combat fans. I feel like people who are interested in Call of Duty, Battlefield, making that in LEGO, it's just really useful because you got the ammo pouches, the walkie-talkie, and just all of the above. Pretty much for modern combat fans. You got pretty much your basic standardized tactical vest. So definitely some really nice printing on the front and back torso. So pretty cool, very detailed, but unfortunately he is diseased with this terrible pistol that LEGO considers a gun. That is no gun, that looks like a plumbing tool. I hate to say it, that needs to get away. Honestly, like I said, I wish that they would use this pistol more often now, but since they're already rushing the utilization of this pistol, I don't think we're going to be seeing this pistol anymore. I don't think this will be more popular than this one, unfortunately. So, but you can see, other than that, he just has some dark tan arms, dark tan legs, pretty basic figure, aside from that awesomely printed torso. So, there are all 5 of the minifigures of this set. The box is a pretty decent size, definitely appropriate for the value of this set. You can see it has all these specs here, pretty much what looks to be Smallville in the background. This looks like it's a crash plane back here of some sort, and maybe one of these scenes of the upcoming Man of Steel film. But definitely a very nice box art. You can see the Man of Steel logo in the corner. You've got information on the top, and then the actual size reference featuring Superman. And then you have the back, which has all the features that I am about to show you. And blammo! And then you can see the bottom with the barcode and other shenanigans and more info and other languages. So, pretty nice box, but then this set actually comes with 2 instruction manuals, and you can see they have a pretty significant amount of pages in each one of them. You've got 55 pages in the first one, which pretty much builds the it pretty much builds the actual off-roader vehicle, and then like the first half of the Black Zero dropship, and then the second one has a good let's see here, because I don't actually look at the page count, I guess 49 pages, and so pretty much you got at least 100 pages in total on these, and pretty much a pretty solid build. So 2 instruction manuals, and then you get this comic book, which could include spoilers on the upcoming Man of Steel movie. So I think every LEGO reviewer has said this. If you don't want any spoilers whatsoever on Man of Steel, there's no confirmation if this even is spoilers, but if you think it might be, definitely skip ahead at least a minute or 2. But so let's go ahead, now that I've warned you, let's go ahead and open it. So here's the first page. You can see Welcome to Smallville, the chaotic town of hell. No, I'm just kidding, but yeah, so definitely some pretty nice 2D art. Moving along here, if you can't actually notice, the hairpiece that Superman has and General Zod's hairpiece is not actually the hairpiece the minifigures come with. I mean, General Zod's, his is actually the hairpiece he comes with, but it doesn't really look like it. But Superman's is not. That's a totally different hairpiece. That's actually a different hairpiece completely, entirely. But if you wanted to see any of those pages, I hope you paused it, because I don't exactly, dwell too long on it. But anyway, yeah, so there's the box and manuals along with the comic book. So finally, now that we got all of that out of the way, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the extra pieces before we move on to the actual set. And you can see you actually do get a significant amount of extra pieces with this set, and those extra pieces being like some antennas. You actually get a total of like 3 big antennas, because honestly, like if you look at the Black Zero dropship, these antennas that are included on it, along with the antennas that are included on the off-roader, you can easily pop those off and lose them, so they give you 3 extra just in case. So definitely very nice LEGO there. Then you can see the other pieces. What's interesting about this piece, I figured I might point it out, is that we have seen this piece many times, but never with a just flat tip. Usually we always get a rounded tip, so I just found that to be very interesting. But then you can see just some other extra pieces, cheese slopes, hook pieces, connectors, tiles, studs, just your basic extra pieces. So yeah, alright, so now we can move on. Alright, so now onto the actual set. We're going to go ahead and move the minifigures aside real quick, and as you can see, the Black Zero dropship is really phenomenal, but we're going to go ahead and first go over what's called the off-roader. And this is obviously driven by Mr. Colonel Hardy. I don't actually know who he is. We'll obviously find out when Man of Steel comes out, or maybe in some documentaries before it. But this thing is definitely a really simple design. It's really not that special. You've got these basic wheels that kind of like stick out and look kind of awkward. Some really basic detail on the front. Nothing too insane. But as you can see, it does in fact have a little steering wheel in there, which is pretty much traditional for anything. And you can see all the available studs in there, which you can stand Mr. Colonel Hardy on any of them. And so taking him out of the Jeep, you can see that this does have a pretty significant play feature. This is pretty much the combatant to the Black Zero dropship, and it has this rotatable turret with 2 blue flick-fire missiles. I don't know why these are blue. It looks very unnatural, especially for what looks to be a military Jeep of some kind, so I'm not really sure about the whole take on the blue flick-fire missiles, but these are the basic flick-fire missiles that don't in fact have a mechanism to help them out. They are just pretty much the ones you have to flick with your fingers, so pretty much this is your only method of attack. This is the only help that Superman is going to get with fighting off this Black Zero dropship, so let's go ahead and try it out. Didn't even move. Like, literally the Black Zero dropship didn't move at all whatsoever. But you can see it does rotate a full 360 degrees, and these little lights right here can in fact bend, as this antenna right here can also do a little bit of bending action. But yeah, it's honestly just a really simple design, nothing too special. I think LEGO just kind of threw it in there as just something to, because obviously you can't, they wanted the villains to have the upper hand in this set, but they also had to give the good guys some sort of vehicle, and this was apparently their best option. Not exactly the coolest thing we've ever seen in a LEGO set, and I'm not really going to commend it because it's not that fantastic. And he's refusing to sit in his crappy little off-roader, so we're going to go ahead and move that aside. So now on to the Black Zero dropship. This thing is a monster of awesomeness. You can see it is obviously the primary color is a dark bluish gray, and you've got all the green and black to really make this look very Kryptonian-like, and it's just overall very, very cool. And it does in fact have its share of stickers. So we're going to go ahead and go over the stickers real quick. Those stickers are right here, a sticker here, a sticker here, and here. These are the same exact stickers on pretty much both wings. So these stickers are literally the exact same on both. So you get 4 of those in total. But other than that, that's pretty much it for stickers. So you only get a few stickers. That's really not that bad. So then you can see the features of this are really cool. As you can see inside the cockpit here, and the cockpit does in fact open, and the cockpit piece is actually really nice. But you can see Toran does fit in there pretty nicely. Or is it pronounced Toron? Who knows? I mean, I'm just really bad with pronunciation. But anyway, so you can see that the cockpit in there is very spacious. You can, in fact, fit 2 minifigures. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at the control panel real quick before we actually do so with fitting the minifigures in there. You can see the control panel in there. You've got some green translucent pieces that look very Kryptonian-like. They're very cool. And then, of course, the center control panel piece, which we have seen with quite a few sets in the past. But where did I put the minifigures? Because I'm going to put Faora in there, but I actually need the figure to go in there. Where did I put them? Here they are. But anyway, alright, so we're going to go ahead and take Faora and seat her inside along with Toran. And unfortunately, if you want to keep your capes in, you know, like, if you're like me and you don't like your capes creased and folded, you're going to want to take their capes off. So that's definitely ideal for this. But you can see both minifigures, 2 minifigures do sit in there very nicely. But once again, I recommend you take off their capes because because obviously with that little room, their capes are not welcome. But closing the cockpit, you can see that they do in fact fit very nicely. And yeah, so if we go ahead and take General Zod's pistol as well, these two cockpits right here, they're not really cockpits, they're really what they are gun racks, and these are meant to hold pistols. And you have 4 slots available, and both of which are these little hinge pieces that we have seen before, obviously. And these can bend, and pretty much the purpose of this is the 2 slots that each one has are meant to hold the grip, or the grip of each pistol. So you can pretty much take your Kryptonian pistols and store them in there. and it's definitely a cool little mechanism, and pretty much you have to actually fold them all the way back before it can close fully, and it is the exact same case for the other one. And just to give you an interior view of the gun rack areas, definitely pretty cool little design there. And I'm really fond of when LEGO gives us, you know, spaces to put all the accessories they include, because I hate just having miscellaneous accessories all over the place. But you can see these antennas that it does have right up here are in fact completely posable. Obviously, they kind of break off relatively easily, but they are in fact pretty posable, and this little black cheese slope on both antennas does in fact stop it from going too far back, but definitely a nice little detail. And then you can see that what I really like is when LEGO decides to not include flick-fire missiles, but when they decide to include these, because these are legit. Like, these are amazing, and pretty much the way these are activated, you get 2 of them in total on the underbelly of this thing, and pretty much you just pull these green cones back and they do fire. So we're going to go ahead and take Superman right here and bend his legs a little bit so he'll stand up for us. And pretty much, like I said, with a pull, with just a little nudge really of this little green cone, you can pretty much just wipe out Superman. So take a look at this. As I completely missed the shot. So we're going to go ahead and reload. But it is a really, if you can aim it right, it definitely does work really awesome, as you can see. So yeah, really great system, and the same can be said for the other one, of course, because it's the exact same thing. You can see the underbelly of this thing does in fact have like tan pieces. I don't know what the purpose of that was, but it's alright. It doesn't really change the overall color. I mean, it doesn't really change how much I like this thing. I mean, the tan doesn't really take too much away from it. But you can see that the gun on the bottom here, which doesn't actually shoot anything, but it's just kind of there for looks. It is pretty cool and very nicely detailed, and pretty much just there, like I said, for looks. There is nothing, it doesn't fire any flick-fire missiles or anything of that sort, but it can rotate 360 degrees if you go ahead and remove this. And pretty much the reason this is here is so it has a solid grounding on whatever surface you might place it on, because as you can see, without that thing, this thing would just pretty much fall back. So if we go ahead and remove it actually real quick, I actually also remove the little piece that it is attached to, the gun does in fact rotate a full 360. But then of course you have to have this on if you want your Black Zero dropship to be in its landing position properly. But I mean, other than that, and all of its detail, all of its glory, there is one other feature, and that feature is the wings. And the wings do have a pretty good amount of posability to them. They can pretty much fold forward and back, and the flaps that each one has can go up and down. So that is pretty cool. So pretty much you can have it in a, I guess when you have them like folded like that, I suppose that would be a flight mode. But I mean, it's definitely just a really cool design. It's got a lot of really nifty features, and just overall a really great build. And I just absolutely love this Black Zero dropship, and I'm sure it'll look great in some mocks if I ever do see a DC, like a Man of Steel, Smallville mock, who knows. But this thing is just a really great design, and definitely one to remember, because it definitely tops off this Man of Steel line in a very nice way, and definitely very innovative for LEGO. And yeah, so General Zod's been kind of left forever alone here. No one has really accepted him in any vehicle. So we're going to go ahead and I think Mr. What's-His-Face wants to accept Mr. General Zod. So we're going to go ahead and put him in there. Yeah, so he's not loved. This guy, he's a bland figure. He's got a nice printed torso, but other than that, he's not loved. So, alright guys, that's it for the actual set. I pretty much went over all the details, and I guess these things right here pose as like headlights, but I mean, other than that, I think I pretty much went over everything. It's definitely a great set, like I said, but without further ado, let's go ahead and conclude this review.
Luther, you come from Krypton, and you grew hair.
Wait, what? No, you dumbass, I'm not. Oh my god! Alright guys, so that about does it for all 3 of the LEGO DC Universe Superheroes Man of Steel reviews. These sets were really great, some of the highest quality LEGO has produced in a while, alongside the Iron Man 3 sets, and the minifigures definitely stand out. They are highly detailed and just fantastic. And then the Black Zero dropship is just really fantastic and a really great build. So honestly, these sets are great. They have the building experience is great, the minifigures are great, and I definitely recommend them to anyone. Of course, they have their flaws, like this entire thing, and as a whole, the bland, what's his name, Colonel Hardy, and the kind of lame off-roader Jeep. But I mean, LEGO sets are going to have their flaws, and honestly, this one doesn't really have that many flaws. I mean, it's a great playset. It looks great. This thing can be used. It's like the DC version of the Star Wars Republic gunship. Like, you can use this thing in DC mocks. It's just really overall a great set, and I'm really looking forward to Man of Steel. I'm just really looking forward to the whole realistic approach on the Superman story directed by Zack Snyder. It's going to be a fantastic film. The trailers have really proved it to us that this one is definitely going to be the best Superman film yet, and I'm really looking forward to the trilogy as a whole as it is released over the next few years. So, I think that about does it for the Man of Steel reviews, guys. These have been fantastic sets, and I recommend them to anyone. So, I'm going to end it off at that note, and Man of Steel for the win. Alright, guys. I'll see you later.
Bye! You like?
I think this is a fair deal in the future of this review. Yeah, I can't. Great. This is just as to why I think this is a great set in the future of this crap. I can't speak today. I just can't do it. Guys, so I hope you enjoyed the... and pretty much motivate me to review the rest of the LEGO DC Universe superhero sets in the future. Because, I can't do this. This is insane. Oh my god. That's about it for the... I really can't talk today. Like, this is insane. And just features overall a much more... just a bigger amount of detail. Bigger amount of detail. That's some nice wording, Ross. Tanor seems to be infected with... Is that even his right... Is that the right name? Is that Tanor? Toran. Gosh damn it. And finally, what is his name? Colonel... What is it? Hardy.